Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how to make a mini foot book. The book that we're going to make is a 6x6, and I pre-assembled a lot of it and just kind of going to put the last parts together. To start with, I wanted to show you the cover, and on the back of the cover I put a bunch of these elements from the Cosmo Cricut Snorkel line, and then I stamped and then punched out these guys from the Time for Travel, along with these palm trees along the bottom. And this actually was an 8 by 6 piece of paper, so I basically took a 12 by 12 and then cut off 2 inches. And then if I open it up, you can see what I did is it actually goes to here, and then I scored an inch and then another inch. So with each of that, with this 10 by 6, it was scored at 1 and then at 2. So it actually makes something that is 6 inches across, which is what the size is of the album. I just had to make it a little bigger to account for all the thickness that I added with some of the chipboard and different things that I used. So this is the cover, and the cover, it is a mini book about some summer pictures, and it wasn't necessarily this last summer, the summer before, just some great pictures that I liked from our summertime. So I called it Our Summer Memories. The hour and the memories, along with the months along the bottom, come from our life, our stories, and what I did is I actually used a word window and punched out and highlighted those summer months. I had to actually double up, and you can kind of see a little overlap because it wasn't big enough. So I adhered this to these tabs. These tabs were 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I added those, and then I added this one. And this one is a little journal tag. The tag itself comes from Amazing Me, and then I stamped memories over the top in like a soft rust color, and that comes from Sentiment So Simple. So this is the outside of it, and I actually used a hobby knife and cut a little slit along here because we're going to use that slit to tie the ribbon around it. I didn't want the ribbon to necessarily be on the back of it, so I didn't want it to cover up the back. But I also wanted to make sure that it was on there. So I'm going to cut off some extra here, and I'm actually going to make it pretty big because I'm kind of in a hurry and I want to make sure I can get a good bow from it. And I'll just go ahead and pull that through, make sure that it's not crooked. And then I'll be able to tie the book off when we're ready to. So I'll go ahead and set that aside. And there were 3 main pieces to it, and this is one of them. This first piece is actually, you can kind of see the overlap here, but it was a 6 by 6 that was, or excuse me, it was a 12 by 6 that was scored at 6, so it's just kind of a flat fold. And then on top of it, I glued another 6 by 12, but this one was scored at 3, and then at 3 on each side, so it made like a gatefold. So these are actually 2 pieces of paper that are adhered to it. So what I did is I made sure there was a picture on the back of this, but I didn't want to have any picture on the front. And then when I opened it up, I have these tabs, and then this folds out. So we have just my type and this nice scallop journal, and then these were some other side journals, the plaid journal box, and then the scalloped, what is that, scallop details and dates box, and then inside I stamped some of the images from beach days and sun rays. So there's one, and the other one is right here. So the same thing, I had a 12 by 6 that was scored at 6, so it made a flap, and then I also had a 12 by 6 that was scored at 3 on each side, so it made a gatefold, and then once I added them, I put them together. This time it's a little bit different. I have a picture on the outside and I have a picture on the inside because I'm actually going to attach the two. So now I have a bigger book. And for this one, I have these great numbers here, and then I also have this star, which is from This Is the Time miniature set, and then this one is also from This Is Your Time miniature set. And then I added a couple things. What's Your Mood? I kind of just put it along the bottom because I thought it was kind of cool to break up this water. And then of course we have the journaling on the side, the details, and it was just cut off a little bit, which I thought made it a little bit interesting. So this ends up being pretty long, but it folds back together quite nicely. So, and now you'll see why we made that one thick, because look at how thick that one is already. So this is one part of it. The last part that I need to add before I do the cover is the part that's going to go over the top of this. And what I did for this one is just a basic, the 6 by 12 that was scored at 6. We have a 6 by 6, and I have my page this way, and I folded it up this time and had another image on the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere it to the bottom here so that this is going to end up covering the whole thing. Let me just add, I guess I'll do some glue dots real quick, and then I can go back through and reinforce it, because I know these won't keep them on there for very long, but just to show you. So I have those, and then I'm going to fold in this side, and then I'm going to fold in this side, and then this is going to go over the top. And with this one on the top, you'll notice that it needs to be pressed down a little bit because I need to flatten that part out. You'll notice that there is a little pull tab, which is from Our Life, Our Stories, and then also This Is the Time up at the top from This Is the Time. And then on this inside one, I played around a little bit with the sentiment from This Is the Time, and I just added it along the bottom and the top, so I made a nice border for that. Okay, so here we got my mini book, which is perfectly ready to be looked at. Now I want to make sure, and I want to actually put it inside of my cover. And I want to make sure that my inch on either side was right, and it was. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around so I can tie it off. And I will make sure that I have a list of all the stamps. I have tons of stamps and products that I used. I think. So there you go. So there is a little flip book on my last summer. So thanks for looking, and I can't wait to see what you guys do.